Before I say anything, I'd like to welcome all the teachers, staff, family, friends, visitors, and graduates to this great ceremony. Also, I'd like to acknowledge prior who are all also very deserving of valedictorian, since it all came down to the last fraction of the percent. So let's have a round of applause. Fellow graduates, a whopping 4 years of putting off work until the last minute and stressing to study for exams until the night before it's finally paid off. 4 years ago, I bet we had the same mindset as we did with exams and every other assignment in school as we did with graduation. But look at us now, once again procrastinating, saying, we have plenty of time until we graduate, snuck up on us, and here we are. I know a lot of us got a reality shock when we had to turn in all of our post-secondary education applications in not too long ago. Then prom came, and the rest is history. So over the next few minutes, I'd like to talk about some of the experiences that we've had, the people we have to thank, and some of the next steps we need to take. Let me just give you a few examples of some of the many experiences I've had with my class. Going all the way back to grade 9 English, where we soon discovered that Mr. Pittman doesn't like the word fitty. I remember Brother being very unsettled around the rest of the class. This, of course, was because she was the only one in her class who went to a different school than everyone else. It only took her a year until she finally was comfortable enough to talk with all of us. The rest of us were either from the Catholic school or public school and already knew each other a slight amount. Music class with Pat was one of the most vitalizing classes in grade 9. I say this, of course, being it was at 9 in the morning and the sound of screeching instruments in the morning really seems to wake you up. I think grade 9 music was the closest class that everyone had here together. This probably explained our incredible success in music. When you have Dylan Belrose on baritone sax, Briar Liam and Brandon on tenor sax, Dylan Fogarty, Carly, Danica, and Kristen on alto, Stacy Barrow, J-Rod and Morgana on trumpet, Jillian and Sam on flute, Jordan and Steph on the French horn, joining us crazy solos on the clarinet, Jaden and me on the trombone, Cody on bass, and finally, Andre rocking that piano. It's a shocker that we weren't offered a record deal. Over the next few years, our class started to take different paths, and we never had a class with this many of us in it again. The next experience I'd like to talk about is outdoor ed class. The winter trip was the first trip in this class, and it was not the best trip for Andre, Jesse, Caleb, or me. Our Quincy collapsed on us, and we ended up sleeping in a Jimmy Riggs snow trench. That's probably the second worst sleep I've ever had, the first one being the night of prom. It was also in this class that I really got to know J-Rod and Eric, who recently received the Cutest Couple Award for yearbook. They were canoe partners during the trip, and you very rarely see them apart throughout that great week. Next, I'd like to thank all the teachers and parents for being there with us during these last 4 years. To the teachers, thank you for unselfishly sharing your time, talent, and knowledge with us. Thank you, Mr. LeDuc, for teaching us Pyro Round, not Pyro Square. And Mr. O for always telling the most appropriate of jokes. Miss G for giving us stickers on all of our tests. Miss Robinson for teaching us how to canoe directly across a river in a straight line with current, and for helping organize prom and grad. Donna for kicking us off the top of the bench all the time and cleaning up our mess. Miss Kingston for subbing in for Miss G as our second math teacher and doing that awesome cartwheel. Miss Ferguson for teaching us foil, which actually turned out to be pretty useful. Pat for dealing with our music class and dedicating some of your time along with Miss Ferguson to help with development. Mr. Pimpton for accepting our slightly late assignments and for dedicating a lot of his spare time to coaching and organizing many of the sports here at Manitouwadge High School. Mr. Martin for teaching us about natural selection and for also accepting late assignments and spending some of your spare time coaching sports. Ted for being the best sociology teacher and for forming us into solid volleyball bumpers. Finally, thank you, Ms. Goulding, for calling our house when we don't come to class and making sure you know why we weren't there. You've done a good job working at MHS. We hope you enjoy your retired time off. To our parents, thank you for supporting us in more ways than is possible to count. You dragged us out of bed each morning, made sure we were getting our work done, and even drove us to school or let us take a vehicle. You motivated us to succeed, and you were always there for us if we were having a hard time at school or anything else. You came and watched our sporting events and volunteered some time helping setting them up and or making them possible. This is just a slight amount of the work you've done for us during these past 4 years, so thank you. Finally, warning, I'm about to get a little bit cliche here, but just because we are graduating doesn't mean we have reached the end of the path. Instead, this is just a first step in building our futures. Some of us will go on to college or university, others will go straight to the workforce, but each of us will travel our own unique path. There will be obstacles along the way, but we must not give up on ourselves and keep pushing so we can be successful. Neil Donald Walsh once said, "Life begins at the end of your comfort zone." It's just like back at grade 8 graduation. We're about to leave our comfort zone and step out into the unknown, which in this case was high school. Except this time, we're stepping out into university, college, or the workforce to travel our own unique path and embrace the imminent change to future better ourselves. And for those of you staying back another year who are undecided, good luck. Congratulations to the graduating class of 2015.